So I guess growing up, I just was like chasing the chaos, and I had a really good like upbringing. I had a really good mum and dad, a loving mum and dad. But because of their lifestyle change, going to church, I was kind of still chasing the chaos for so long, and got into like abusive relationships when I was younger, always trying to chase something that like definitely wasn't of God. And yeah, I guess I always had something missing in my life, and I just didn't know what it was, and I kind of tried to replace it with drugs, alcohol, men, and all different like things. And addiction got really bad for me to the point where I lost everything. I just completely lost everything. I lost my children. My mum had to take my children. Social services were involved. It was at court proceedings. I was in such a bad way. I had like nothing left. I was just in my bedroom on my own, in and out of police cells, in and out of hospitals, where I was just trying to constantly take my own life. I just didn't know what was missing. It was always kind of at the back of my head, like God was always saying, like, Sam, I'm here. But I just never, I couldn't let him in, because I become so broken and so lost that I hated myself. And when I was sat in my bedroom, I remember like writing a letter to my boys. My mum had him, I wasn't allowed to see him for a while. And I remember just sitting in my bedroom on my own, drinking, and just saying, I just don't want to be here. I just don't want to be here anymore, God. Just take me. If you're real, just take me. And I wrote a letter to my kids and to say how much I loved them. But I just didn't want to be in this world anymore. I felt like I didn't fit. I didn't fit in anywhere. I just didn't feel normal. And it was always Sam. It was always, oh, Sam's up to no good again. Oh, Sam's been arrested again. Sam's in hospital again. Oh, she nearly done it this time. And then something just changed. One night, I just got so broken, and I was at breaking point. After chasing chaos for so many years, and I was just like, what am I doing? I'm sat in my bedroom and I've got nothing left. And I just got on my knees and I begged God. I said, please take me or help me. I need you to come into my life, and I need, I always knew God was there. I didn't know how to fit him into my lifestyle. And I begged him and I said, God, please, if you're there, just please, I'm surrendering. And that's a big word for me, because I've never really done that before. And I got on my knees and I cried out to Jesus, and I said, Jesus, please come into my life and just change my life. I don't want to be this person anymore. I don't want to be the person that wakes up in a prison cell, because I was looking at prison sentences, and I don't want to be that person that's in prison or dead, because that's how I was going with my life. And I just said, I surrender. I'm giving everything to you. And that is when things changed. The next day when I got up, it was just completely different. It was like a peace that I've never felt in my whole life. And I've had times before when I've got close to God, but I've still had my foot in the world. So I never really fully surrendered, but this time was different. I had nothing left and I was broken. And I had this peace and this buzz, like, do you know what, I'm going to be all right? And it was the best buzz that any drink or drug could ever give me. It was just like, do you know what, I'm going to be all right? And instead of crying in my bed, attention seeking and writing suicide letters, I just got up and I started painting my house. I started putting on the worship music, and I rang my mum. I said, I am going to be all right this time. And everyone, I was so fed up of hearing that. Like, oh, she's going to do it this time, but this time was different. And now it's 2 years on and I've not touched anything, because I believe God took that desire away because I surrendered. I got on my hands and knees and I cried out to him. And life has been, you know, I've been in battles. I've been in battles and I've had tough times in these past couple of years, but through that, Jesus has been with me in them battles. And I just could not do life without Jesus. I couldn't, because just the how my life is now is just completely different to what it was before. And, you know, I put God first, and he's gave me so many blessings. He's took the desire away from me, and he's gave me a husband. He knew I wanted, to settle down. He knew what I wanted. And, he gave me Vinny, he gave me a new little blessing, my little girl, and he gave me my children back. Social services said to me, we have never, had anyone that has fought so hard in that short amount of time for their children. And that's because that wasn't just me, because, when they got taken, I was still drinking. They weren't even enough at that time. But God he changed my hardened heart and he made it into like mush. He softened my heart and he completely transformed my life. There's always hope in a hopeless situation through Jesus. And I've been that person that's, come to church and shown my face on Sunday, but then left church and gone to the pub. I've always, like I said, I've always had one foot in the world, one foot in the church, and because I never forgive myself. I never fully forgive myself. I never fully surrendered to Jesus, and I never forgive myself for all the things that I was doing, and I was still doing them things because I felt worthless. And there is, you are forgiven. And, I look back at the awful things I've done now, and I used to get really oh no, I don't want to even think about that, but now I'm at peace with it because God forgave me, and he's gave me this new life and this hope that, I never thought I'd have again. And there, you just got to surrender to him and give everything to him, and you don't need to have one foot in the world anymore. The world's got nothing to offer. It's got nothing to offer. I am called weird. I am, a few people have said, oh, you're just that weird Christian, or, you've changed, but you're a bit odd. But I wouldn't have it any other way, because, what he's done for me is just unbelievable. But yeah, there's always hope in a hopeless situation through Jesus.